Hello, welcome to Thor Talk, the show all about Marvel's resident god of thunder, where I discuss Thor feats, battles, story arcs, villains, and more. On this episode of Thor Talk, we begin Ragnaroktober, with a classic Simonson story featuring Thor vs. Hela and Skurge the Executioner. All this and more on Thor Talk.
I am Thor the Thunderer, son of Odin, prince of Asgard. I am an Avenger, and this world is under my protection.
Whosoever holds this hammer, if it be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've come for.
The story kicks off in Thor number 361, which was written by Walter Simonson in November of 1985. The Asgardians have just won a war with Surtur, but now they must be off again as Hela has captured mortal souls and Thor leads the gods on a journey to her realm to free them. But Thor's longtime enemy, Skurge the Executioner, has asked to join them. Skurge has always been a great warrior, but he has constantly been defeated by Thor, causing him to become somewhat of a joke. But all of his attacks on Thor have been motivated by his love for Amora the Enchantress. However, Amora constantly toys with Skurge by pretending to care about him and then showing affection for someone else in front of Skurge. After the Enchantress once again pushes Skurge away by showing love for Heimdall and trapping Skurge in a forest, the Executioner decides to join Thor to clear his mind. Thor leads the Asgardians across Galabru, the bridge across the river Gjöll that leads into Hell. As they continue their journey, Skurge is greeted by the Enchantress, who tells him that she was killed by Heimdall, and that is why she is trapped in Hela's realm. The Asgardians are then greeted by dead loved ones as well, but it turns out to be a trap set into motion by Hela. Realizing that Hela should be dealt with as soon as possible, Thor challenges her to a Viking contest, wrestling. If Thor wins, then Hela must leave them be, but if Hela wins, she claims Thor's soul. Knowing that Hela can kill anyone with a mere touch, Thor covers himself from head to toe, and the two begin their battle. Since wrestling doesn't involve any weapons, Thor must face Hela without Mjolnir, so he uses his blinding speed to prevent Hela from laying a hand on him. Thor uses his speed to dominate the fight. As Hela tries to get away by flying, Thor slams her down into the ground. Thor's domination of the fight forces Hela to use a powerful attack known as the Hand of Glory, which scars his face badly and leaves him weak and lying on the ground. As Thor falls to the ground in pain, Hela tells Thor to kiss the hem of her cape and she will allow him to be her servant. But Hela underestimates Thor's strength as he tears the cape off of her. Hela is half dead, and without her cape, she is helpless. Thor threatens to tear it, so Hela surrenders. Thor gives Hela her cape back, and uses his own cape to cover the horrible scars. Now with the mortal souls, the gods find Naglfar, a ship that has been being built since the dawn of time by Hela, and when it is finished, it will mean the end of the gods. Hela appears to them, showing that Skurge has left them to be with the Enchantress, but Balder tells Skurge that things are not as they seem. Remembering that Balder has never lied to him before, Skurge uses his enchanted axe to cut through the disguise of Hela's servant, Mordana. Mordana has been disguised as Amora the Enchantress. Now she attempts to get Skurge to join Hela's side. Realizing that he has been made a fool of again, Skurge throws his axe at Naglfar, destroying the ship. Hela is enraged at this act, and sends every undead warrior in Hell to kill the Asgardians. They flee, but the legions of dead will soon catch up with them. Thor says that he will stay behind and defend the bridge Galabru so that the Asgardians can escape. Then, Skurge strikes Thor from behind, knocking him out. The Asgardians scream, "Traitor!" and they prepare to execute the Executioner. But Skurge asks Balder to hear what he has to say. "Balder, hear me out. They made a fool of me, Balder. They laughed at me. Everybody laughs at Skurge. Hela, Mordanna, even the enchantress I love. They all laugh at me. But whenever they laugh, I hurt inside. Maybe I die a little. Now I think I am already dead. So I will stay behind, and the last laugh will be mine. You and Thor will have a drink when you are next in Asgard, and laugh Skurge's last laugh together. I will hold the bridge." With his enchanted axe gone, Skurge uses guns that the humans gave to the Asgardians during the war with Surtur. As the Asgardians flee with the mortal souls, Skurge stands armed at the entrance to Galabru as uncountable undead warriors charge at him. The thunder is louder now, and Skurge is waiting. Perhaps he has waited all his life for this one moment. As the warriors of death ride hard down upon him, the Executioner turns his thoughts from the flowing blonde hair that always dances before his eyes and begins to do the thing he does best. And though the Executioner stands alone, and the warriors of hell seem numberless, not one foot sets upon the bridge across the river Gjöll. They sing no songs in hell, nor do they celebrate heroes, for silent is that dismal realm, and cheerless. But the story of Galabru, and the god who defended it, is whispered across the 9 worlds. And when a new arrival asks about the one to whom even Hela bows her head, the answer is always the same. He stood alone at Galabru, and that answer is enough. I chose this particular story for Ragnaroktober not only because it has Hela versus Thor, which will definitely be a factor in Thor Ragnarok, but because I also believe that Skurge will follow a similar route in the movie as well. The story is truly Simonson at his best, and I recommend that you read it for yourselves. Well, that's all for this episode of Thor Talk. If you want to keep up with Thor Talk and all Thor-related news, follow Thor Talk on Instagram at Thor Talk. You can also keep up with and support Thor Talk by simply subscribing. Once again, I'd like to formally state that all art and video is owned by its respective companies, and I own none of it. With that said, see you next time on Thor Talk, where
You'll behold in breathless wonder